Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. I read with tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's question is what blessings are coming into your life this November? So we're just pretty much going to get started right away. Just know that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with everybody, so just take what resonates for your situation and leave the rest. And I would like to request that if you enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe as well so that you can see when I've posted new content. So for our 4 piles, we have this yellow feather. Pile 2 is this gray striped feather. Pile 3 is this blue feather. And pile 4 is this brown feather. So just use your intuition to figure out which pile you're feeling drawn to. I'm going to put timestamps in the description and in the comments below, and we're going to get started with pile number 1. Hi pile 1, so if you chose this yellow feather, then this is your message. So let's figure out what blessings are coming your way for November. So for your tarot, you've got the 9 of Fire, the 4 of Air, and the 6 of Water. And then for your feather card, you have Canary. Step forward now and sing your song. There is power in finding your voice. So I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be safe to express yourself this month. Because with the 9 of Fire, she just looks really kind of cautious to be touching this like kind of star here that she's wanting to kind of move forward, but she's not sure if it's safe because I feel like she's probably had bad experiences with it in the past. With the 4 of Air, that's symbolizing kind of taking a break, taking a breather, just kind of restoring your energy. And then with the 6 of Water, it has to do with nostalgia, things from the past kind of coming back around, that childlike sense of wonder and awe. So I feel like you're going to be discovering that it's safe to express yourself this month. I think maybe in the past people have kind of shut you down, and so now you're a little bit cautious and you've been stepping away from a lot of communication. But maybe someone from the past is going to come back around and you're going to discover that it's a healthier relationship now than it was in the past, and maybe you two can communicate better. But let's see what the rest of your oracle cards have to say. You got Anya, adaptability, number 1. Healing the heart, number 23. Dove spirit, be peace, number 21. Intention. Love. Feast, slow down and celebrate yourself, number 29. Friendliness and connection. So friendliness says, whenever I smile, I make someone's day better. What a cool way to buy happiness for free. Today I will remember what an awesome power I hold, and I'll take joy in improving lives simply by giving away grins like crazy. Note, in a pinch, money will also work. And then connection says, I'm connected to the multitudes and I can access their support at any time. Even a stranger offers a sense of comfort when they smile at me or make a dumb comment about the weather. Everyone is waiting to connect. All I need to do is open myself up and pay attention. Note to self, work on witty banter about weather-related stuff. So yeah, I feel like this definitely has to do with connections. I think there might be some people in your life who are trying to come back and connect with you. I think you might be getting an apology. I'm seeing this be peace and healing the heart up here. So I think someone might be trying to reach out and make up for something that they've done in the past. They might be trying to kind of just extend the olive branch to you if you two had a kind of tumultuous past in some way, if they would shoot you down when you'd say something, if you just had very differing opinions and you would butt heads a lot. I feel like they might be trying to bring more peace to the situation. I think maybe a step back was helpful for the two of you, and now they're going to try to reach out and fix things. I think they're coming forward with the intention of being loving and open. I think they're going to be friendly. And I think it's also, I'm seeing this feast, slow down and celebrate yourself. So I'm thinking if you live in the United States, Thanksgiving is coming up this month. So that's definitely very feast oriented. But I think this is speaking a lot about just self-care and kind of being okay with being on your own, or just celebrating yourself rather than having to worry about other people's opinions, and just kind of indulging in things that you like to do and things that you love. And with Anya, it says adaptability as well. So I think you are probably changing the way that you communicate with people, and other people are changing the way that they communicate with you. So I think overall it's going to be a healthier dynamic. And then you've also got, for your law of attraction card, respond versus react. So I think, yeah, you're learning to respond in a healthier way. Other people are responding in a more healthy way towards you. So if there's any kind of points of contention in this relationship, maybe you're just kind of leaving it alone instead of getting into things. You're agreeing to disagree, and you're just coming from a place of love rather than kind of fighting and like competition and things like that. So let's get your charms and see what they have to say. So I do have the heart here to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 1, what blessings are coming your way this November? So in the heart, you've got the spider, which speaks about creating the life that you want, kind of being creative and knowing that you can create your own future. The owl here speaks of listening to your inner wisdom, so I think that you're able to do that much better this month. And this umbrella or parasol here speaks of protecting yourself, sometimes when you don't necessarily have to, just kind of bringing something to prepare yourself for protection just in case. So I feel like you've kind of been carrying that umbrella around, and you've been protecting yourself from kind of getting into fights with people or having issues in communication, and now just know that you might not have to anymore. This month I think it's going to lighten up a little bit. I think you're going to be able to kind of bury the hatchet in a lot of ways with a lot of people. I think it's just going to be kind of a smoother month for you. I don't think that it's going to be as difficult. We've got the letter J here, and we've also got 16, so the 16th might kind of be important for a lot of people. We've got the moon here, so that speaks of fear and emotion and kind of illusion lending itself to fears taking over, or kind of the negative emotions coming out more often than not. But then with this lighthouse here, that speaks of kind of shining a light on things, a guiding light, kind of finding the way forward. We've got cool, so I feel like you're gonna be cool with some people. Like, I think somebody's gonna come forward and definitely try to make things up with you. You might kind of share a drink or something. I'm feeling like this is kind of my 3 of Cups energy here. So just getting together with friends, doing something fun. I think you're going to be able to keep things a little bit more light. You're not going to feel as weighed down. And yeah, with this kind of like winged heart here, that makes me think of like your heart feeling a lot lighter. So I feel like with this pack mule, you're going to be able to let go of the burden that you were carrying with whatever issues you had with this person. But I think you're going to be able to kind of take care of it. That this lawnmower a lot of the time kind of speaks of just mowing down things that don't work and like maintenance. So I think you're going to be able to maintain a relationship that maybe you were worried about losing. So that could definitely be happening. So I feel like your relationships are going to kind of smooth out this month. So that's a really good sign coming up for you. So group 1, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does. So please leave me a comment below. Please like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have an awesome November and an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi group 2, so if you chose this gray striped feather, then this is your message. So let's figure out what blessings are coming to you this November. So for your tarot, you've got the Hermit, 3 of Water, and Justice. So Well, let me get your feather before I move into the rest of your oracle cards. So you've got woodpecker. Use your discernment and fortitude to achieve your goals and find a new rhythm. So I feel like maybe you've taken time out recently to kind of recharge and kind of figure things out. And now you're trying to kind of bring some balance back in situations with friends or with just kind of your fun and kind of play aspect of your life. Because I feel like maybe something's been going on, like some conflict with friends or something, or you haven't felt quite yourself around friends recently. But let's see what the rest of your oracle cards have to say. So you've got lazy revelation, number 29. Let it go. That's number 24. The storyteller, number 17. White raven spirit, trust in the magic, number 66. Wings of light. Lighthouse, don't doubt your worth, number 20. No judgment, and that says, I release myself from any and all judgments. I find my inner critic, call it into my office, and tell it to take a vacation. As it leaves the room, I let out a sigh and begin to enjoy the joy of simply being. Who hired that guy anyway? And then for your Island Time Wellness Law of Attraction card, you have say affirmations. So I feel like maybe you haven't been as kind to yourself as you should be, because I'm kind of getting the vibe of like negative self-talk, and I feel like maybe you've been kind of self-deprecating in the way that you've been talking to others. Maybe that's kind of how you feel like you can connect with people, is that you've been kind of just self-deprecating around other people, and you've been kind of negating your worth around others, and you haven't kind of talked yourself up. And not that you have to brag or anything, but I feel like maybe you've been kind of selling yourself short in a lot of ways. But I feel like with this revelation card, you're kind of learning that maybe that's not the healthiest way to go about things. And I feel like this month, maybe you're going to start being kinder to yourself, because we're seeing let it go with this heart right here. And we're also seeing the storyteller. So I'm kind of getting the vibe of like, let go of the stories that you're telling yourself, let go of the stories you're telling other people. And with this kind of trust in the magic, I'm getting trust in your own magic, that I feel like, and that's actually the name of this deck here, is believe in your own magic. And it even says, don't doubt your worth. And then up here on the sign, it says, I am always enough. So I feel like maybe you've kind of been saying that you're not enough, or you've been kind of talking to people like, oh, I'm not really that great. And, I always have issues with this. And man, that's so typical me. I'm screwing things up right and left. And, it's easy to kind of slip into that because you want to connect with people. And I feel like sometimes self-deprecation is that kind of connecting vibe, that you feel like you can connect with people more easily if you kind of humble yourself in a lot of ways. But sometimes you can take it too far, and it makes it like kind of toxic in a way. And I feel like with this wings of light, you're kind of healing that. And I think you kind of have to trust in your wings and maybe protect yourself a little bit and heal. And with this say affirmations, maybe that's something that you're going to be working on this month, is saying affirmations like, it even says state as I am. So maybe just I am love, I am joy, I am powerful, things like that, to kind of tell yourself that you're worthwhile. Because I think a lot of the time, even if we're kind of joking with the way that we talk about ourselves, I think a lot of the time we start to believe it the more we say it. So even if you don't mean it, maybe that's just something that you've discovered you have to let go, and you have to kind of bring balance back. Because with this justice card, I'm feeling like maybe you've been kind of doing it so much that now you're just attracting people who make you feel bad about yourself, and you're realizing that that's not okay, and you have to kind of retreat and figure out why that's happening and what you can do differently. And with this woodpecker card, it's even saying find a new rhythm. So I feel like you kind of have to be more discerning about who you allow into your space, how you talk about yourself, how you allow other people to talk about you, and that kind of thing. So let's get your charms now and figure out what blessings are coming to you this November. I am using the heart today so we can figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 2, what blessings are coming to you this November? Okay. So in the hearts we have Gemini. So you could be a Gemini, or the person you're dealing with could be a Gemini, but otherwise Gemini just speaks a lot of the time of, it's the twins, so a lot of the time it can kind of relate to the two faces we present to other people or the two sides of ourselves, things like that. And Geminis are very verbal, so this I do think is very much talking about kind of the way that you talk about yourself around other people and how it's impacting how you talk about yourself just on your own, and then how those two things kind of coincide. And I think it's saying that you need to really work on kind of your self-worth, and I think this month you're going to find that easier. I think you're going to be feeling a little bit more powerful, better about yourself, and I think you're going to kind of phase out that negative thinking and the toxic behavior that's leading you to feel badly about yourself. So I'm seeing with the words here, I'm seeing divine time. So I feel like there's maybe some divine timing at play in this, and I'm seeing forever. So maybe this is something that you developed. It's a habit you developed as a kid or a long time ago, and that's, it's finally time to cut that out. And I think the divine are trying to kind of remind you of your worth as well, and just kind of help you recognize that you are worth more than you're talking, than you're telling people. But we've got truth here and we've got dream. So I think it's trying to get you to recognize the truth. I think that you're definitely selling yourself short in a lot of ways. I think this is a cycle that you're finally maybe working on breaking this month. With this lone wolf, maybe this has impacted your ability to kind of have positive relationships with people. I think it is kind of making it so that you keep your guard up with this hedgehog, with the, hedgehogs have spikes that keep predators away. So I feel like that is kind of maybe turning people off from being around you. So if you're wondering why you're having a hard time meeting good friends or positive people to be around, that could be kind of what's scaring people away, is that you're so self-deprecating. It's maybe tiring to be around, and it's hard to be around people with low self-esteem a lot of the time, because it does kind of bleed into everything. And I think maybe, nobody wants to be around somebody who's so self-deprecating, because if you're telling people that you're no good, then why would somebody want to be around someone who's no good, even though that's not the truth. But I just think, sometimes it makes it so that it's hard for people to want to be around you. So with this kiss me, I feel like they're just telling you to be kinder to yourself, maybe be a little bit pampering to yourself, and like show yourself some extra love because you've been kind of neglecting yourself for so long. I think with this swan, it's saying kind of see your own grace and elegance and just like the beauty that you have as you kind of float along. Like I feel like swans also make me think of the ugly duckling, that maybe you've kind of grown up feeling like that ugly duckling, whether that was physically or just kind of how you saw yourself. But as we all know, that ugly duckling grows up and becomes a swan that many people think is one of the most beautiful birds out there. So I feel like it's just saying you're a lot harder on yourself than other people are, and you don't need to be. With this palm tree here, I feel like you definitely kind of needed a break to be able to figure that out. So maybe it's even suggesting that if you kind of haven't reached that point yet where you're realizing that you need to kind of stop with the self-deprecation, or you haven't figured out how to do that yet, maybe it's just saying retreat a little bit, kind of don't, take a break from people for a little while so that you can kind of really sift through your brain to figure out why you act that way, why you think that way about yourself. We've got the egg cup here, so I feel like you've kind of developed it as a defense mechanism. When life got hard, you kind of hardened inside and you kind of lashed out rather than at other people. You kind of lashed out towards yourself, even though, there was no real need to. I think it was just a defense mechanism so that maybe if you're self-deprecating, other people wouldn't come at you either. So I feel like that's something that a lot of people kind of develop, but then it's, you continue that pattern even when it's not needed anymore. But I think they're saying you can fix it with this wrench here. And I think you're maybe starting to realize, or you need to start realizing, the kind of awesomeness and the beauty in your unique makeup, because this is this unicorn that's made up of all of these like smaller like geometric pieces. So it's saying that you have a unique makeup that nobody else has, and you need to start recognizing the beauty in that. All right, group 2. Well, I hope this resonates. I kind of love this like self-love vibe reading for you. So I would love to know if it resonates. So please leave me a comment below if it does, and like the video, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already so that you can see when I post new videos. I hope you have an awesome November and an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, group 3. So if you chose this kind of bluish gray feather, then this is your message. So let's figure out what blessings are coming to you this November. So for your tarot, you've got the 10 of Earth, 4 of Fire, and 6 of Earth. So I feel like what's coming to you might be a financial or career blessing, because I'm seeing this 10 of Earth, which is like financial stability and just kind of stability in all aspects of life. But in this particular card, I'm seeing a lot of kind of career and financial stability, but I'm also seeing a bit about home. So maybe your home life is going to be really great. I'm seeing 4 of Fire, which has to do with milestones and kind of celebrating your achievements up to that point and just feeling really good about it. And then the 6 of Earth, which has to do with balance and equal give and take and kind of generosity and giving help, getting help if needed. And then on the back of your feather card, it says, Heron, let go of convention and follow your own unique path. So maybe you're finally going down a career path that you've wanted to go down for a long time, but it's not a typical kind of conventional career path. So maybe you've shied away from it in the past, and now you've actually kind of realized you can do it, and you've been achieving things with this. I feel like this is something that you've been working at for a long time, but you've been doubting yourself, and now you're realizing that you're actually getting back what you're putting in this situation. So that's awesome. November, I feel like, is going to be a really great month to kind of prove that to you, that you're on the right path. So for your oracle cards, you've got Beauty, Bonsai 10, number 6. You've got A Deep Breath, number 7. Badger Spirit, Be Fearless and Bold, number 4. I Am Blessed. Sorry if you can hear my cat running around. Clover, Release Your Guilt, number 21. Phoenix, How's That for a Happily Ever After, number 9. Follow Your Heart, and you've also got Divine Timing. So Follow Your Heart says, I'm always rewarded when I follow my heart. I trust that the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes, and when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that's because there's some cool, weird stuff to see along the way. And then Divine Timing says, everything is timing, and timing is everything. Gladly, I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. So I feel like maybe this is something you've been working on for a long time, and you've been kind of worrying about, is this going to happen? Why isn't it happening yet? And you've just been kind of stressed that things haven't been turning out for a long time. But I feel like November is going to show you that things are starting to turn out, and you just have to kind of trust and sometimes take a step back. I'm seeing this deep breath card too that makes me think of just kind of stopping, breathing, just kind of collecting yourself, taking a break. And I think you're maybe seeing the beauty in these passages of time as well, that maybe it is with this follow your heart, it's saying, when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that's because there's some cool, weird stuff to see along the way. So I feel like maybe this is taking a while because you're learning things along the way. Other opportunities are coming up as you're waiting for one opportunity to kind of come to fruition. I think maybe you're kind of realizing how bold you can be. You're realizing your beauty. You're realizing how blessed you are. I feel like with this release your guilt, maybe there are some things in the past that you're kind of releasing guilt over that you're feeling better about. Maybe other people are releasing some resentment against you for something. Like, I'm wondering with that kind of 6 of Earth as well, I'm wondering if maybe you were depending on somebody else financially and now you don't have to kind of beat yourself up over that because you're kind of coming up out of the ashes too, that this is the harder parts of this journey are now over and you're moving into a better period. So I think this is a really great kind of November message. And then your Law of Attraction Island Time Wellness card is being love. So I feel like you are just kind of focusing more on love, self-love, kind of love for what you do, because with this heron, it's let go of convention and follow your own unique path. So I definitely think that you're kind of moving into a more, into a period of life where you're kind of honoring your heart's desires more. You're not focused on just kind of the usual way of doing things. You're being more fearless and bold. You're kind of moving towards something that maybe a lot of people wouldn't have the courage to move towards, because I'm seeing a lot of fire energy here, even though, I was thinking it's very career oriented. I think it's something that you're passionate about, because we have that 4 of fire. We've got be fearless and bold, and then we have both of these cards are fire energy. So I do think that it's something that you're just feeling really good about, that this is something you've wanted for a long time and you're finally moving towards it. So I feel like you're going to get that, like some of that payoff this month, and you're going to get some signs that this is the right path for you to be on. So let's get your charms. And we are using the heart today, so we can figure out what's in the heart of the matter. So group 3, what blessings are coming your way for November? Okay. You guys got a lot more charms. So in the heart, you have L. So when I say this, I'm thinking love. So I do think that you are following the path of something that you love. And maybe this is kind of that initial stage of that you haven't done that for a long time and now you're doing it. But that could also be an initial of a company, a person, something like that might have more personal meanings for many of you. You've got the clock here, so yeah, that speaks of divine timing. So I think you're kind of releasing that need to know when things are happening, and I think because you're starting to see some payoff, you're not worried as much about it, that you're realizing that things are going to turn out in divine timing and you can't force it to go any faster. Sorry, I just want to move some of these up a little bit so that you can see them and like flip them over. So you've got number 22. I always like the repeating numbers, so that might be a significant number or date this month maybe, because 1122 is really good in terms of numerology. Maybe if somebody knows the specifics about what that means, you could leave that in the comments below. We've got always and secret. So I do feel like this is something that you've maybe always wanted to do, but I wonder if maybe you haven't told that many people about it because this has been a big secret, and now maybe that you're kind of reaching some milestones in terms of what you've been working on, you can finally maybe start sharing this with people. With this mermaid here too, that always kind of makes me think of secrets and kind of not showing everything because her back is turned. So I feel like it's something that you're kind of maybe a path that you want to follow, but you're not really sure what it holds, and you haven't told people about it because it's either something difficult to do or it's something you feel like not many people would understand. But I feel like you are getting that payoff this month. I'm seeing this bird coming in with maybe news or a message related to kind of achievements that you've been reaching. I see the word world, so that makes me think of the world card in tarot, which has to do with achievement and success and the end of one cycle. So I feel like you're kind of reaching the end of a first cycle here. I am seeing this wheel as well, so I feel like cycles really have a lot to do with this, and I feel like kind of that culmination energy is coming up a lot. We've got Pisces here, so maybe you could be a Pisces or someone involved could be, but Pisces also has to do with idealism and dreams, just kind of that like imaginative, dreamy energy. We've got trustworthy here, which I believe, is Taurus. So Taurus could also be involved, but otherwise, because trustworthy is here, maybe this is something that you've only told a select few people about, just someone that you think is trustworthy, or it's suggesting that if you haven't told anyone about this, maybe you could confide in a trustworthy friend or family member or someone who would be more likely to understand this. We've got this donut here, so I do feel like sweet results are awaiting you. I feel like this is something to get excited about because you've been kind of loyal to this situation, this career path, and I feel like that kind of loyalty and persistence is starting to pay off for you. So you don't have to kind of tamp down your excitement. You can kind of let it out. You can start kind of pumping yourself up. Things are starting to blossom with this feather here. With this eagle, I feel like you've kind of figured out when to swoop in and make a difference, and make some changes in your life and start to move towards things. You've got this fox here, so I do feel like you have been doing a lot in secret. You've been kind of cunning about it, and you've been doing a lot of things under the radar. So this could be like a side hustle or something that you haven't told a lot of people about. This could have to do with music because we've got the guitar here as well as the French horn. But it could just be some sort of creative project that you've been working on, because that fire energy is also creativity. So this could have been something that you've been kind of wanting to do for a while, but because it's less likely for you to kind of follow through and actually have a true success, like in terms of financial matters or something, that you haven't told anyone about it, because maybe it to a lot of people it would seem like a pipe dream. With this, these messages in a bottle too, I think you might be receiving some news this month, about what your successes are. Maybe some money will be coming in, or somebody kind of comes to you with a major opportunity that maybe they've seen some of your past work and they're coming to you with better opportunities. You've got this horse running, so I feel like fast movement is definitely coming for you. You've got this skeleton here, so I feel like maybe it's something that you thought was kind of dead and done already, but you're realizing that you do have some ability to move forward in this. You've got the cat here, so I feel like maybe you're well on your way to financial independence as well, but maybe you just have worked on this independently, and this is saying too you can also confide in people and ask for help if you need it, and just know that you don't have to do it all by yourself. But I think it's saying also be proud of all the work that you've achieved just on your own. And with this lipstick, I feel like it's saying just like kind of maybe treat yourself now. Like I'm picturing kind of getting all dolled up just for your own benefit. I feel like a lot of the time it's just kind of you need to do something that makes you feel good and confident. And with that beauty card as well, I think maybe it's just saying do things that make you feel beautiful, because I think a lot of the time that can just help with our confidence, and it helps us kind of move forward, especially if you want to tell somebody about this. Maybe do things beforehand that kind of help build yourself up, if that makes sense. Well, group 3, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. I would love it if you would like this video and also subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have an awesome November and an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi group 4, so if you chose this kind of brown feather, then this is your message. So let's figure out what blessings are coming your way this November. So for your tarot, you've got Page of Fire, 5 of Water, and Temptation, which is the Devil card. So before we get into more of that, I am also going to read your feather card. So you have Hawk, and it says, pay attention, a powerful message is being communicated to you. So yeah, with that message card and then the Page of Fire, that's definitely, I think you might have a message coming to you this month. With the 5 of Water, I feel like it might have to do with something that you were grieving or sad about, but just know that not all is lost in this situation. And then with temptation, maybe this is something that you've been trying to stay away from. It could be something that you've worried is unhealthy for you. It could be, I feel like maybe an ex is coming back for many of you, or at least going to contact you for some reason, and you might be tempted to meet up with them or get back together with them or something. But I feel like because it's a blessing coming your way, maybe this isn't as bad as you thought it was at some point. So let's see what the rest of your tarot cards have to say. So you got Saraswati, Mastery, number 45. The Uncharted Sea, number 46. I kind of like that's 45 and 46 next to each other. Elephant Spirit, Learn from the Past, number 25. Unconditional Love. You've got Wings. You Never Needed Those Wings to Fly, number 8. Library, Take Control of Your Own Narrative, number 22. Vitality, which says, I am healthy and vital and strong. My radiant love of life fills me with healthy, vital, and strong cells. Each cell is a warrior. Every one has its own sword and shield. I dare you to try and penetrate my cellular army. Didn't think so, chump. And then finally, for your Law of Attraction Island Time Wellness card, you have Perspective. So what I'm wondering actually is if maybe you have two options coming towards you. With that Page of Fire, maybe you're going to get a message from someone new, and then with that Temptation and Five of Water, it's like maybe someone from the past who hurt you is also going to try to come back. And in the past, maybe you would have been tempted by them, and this month I feel like you're not going to be tempted by them anymore, because I think you've mastered your emotions and you kind of know what you want at this point. And with Vitality, you're kind of recognizing your strength. With the Uncharted Sea, I feel like you're moving into a period of time where you haven't experienced this before. So that's making me feel like this is somebody new that you're going to be maybe choosing, or you're going to have that option. And Learn from the Past to me says that you're going to not be going back to the past. You're just learning those lessons and moving forward. And now this is an unconditional love situation. So I do feel like if this isn't a romantic relationship, you're meeting somebody who makes you feel so good about yourself that you're not going back to old toxic patterns or people. And I think maybe these were people who kind of built you up in the past, but it was not something you needed. So with this, you never needed those wings to fly. I think you're learning to kind of trust your own power, and you're taking control of your own narrative. You're not letting anybody else control you or puppeteer you. So I do feel like you're kind of leaving that toxicity behind, because I think you've gotten perspective on the situation, and this month you're kind of recognizing that you don't need all of those old patterns or the old people anymore, that you are powerful enough on your own. And when new people come in, which I think somebody new is coming in for many of you this month, I think you're going to recognize the healthy relationship and be able to turn down the unhealthy one. So that's really awesome. Let's see what your charms have to say. So I am using the heart today to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 4, what blessings are coming to you this November? Okay, you guys got a lot of charms. I think you have the most out of anybody. But in the heart, you have the Owl. So I feel like you're listening to your inner wisdom. You're learning from things that you experienced in the past. I do feel like for many of you, this does have to do with love. Let's see what we have here. You guys have so many charms. So for zodiac signs, I'm seeing Taurus and Aries. So you or this person or the new person, or the old person, like any of the people involved in this situation could be Taurus or Aries, or it could just relate to those energies. So Taurus, I often think of stubbornness. And then for Aries, I also think of stubbornness. So I do think that maybe you've been kind of stubbornly stuck on someone from the past, and you're finally kind of realizing that you can have something healthier and somebody new. I think that you're moving forward with passion and determination. The letter B is here, so that could relate to the situation in some way. It could be a name or something important. So I'm seeing sense and sensibility. So I do think maybe you're kind of having to decide oftentimes between sense and sensibility. I don't know if this book or there's a movie of it as well, but if this story has anything to do with your situation or if that's something that's important to you. But with that story, like back in Jane Austen's time, sensibility often meant kind of overly sentimental and kind of carelessness when it came to love and relationships and things like that. And sense was very kind of poised and put together and relying on logic, and sensibility had to do with relying on your heart and kind of just jumping forward in matters of the heart. And I feel like maybe you've kind of figured out that just following your heart in every situation has not led you the right way. So now you're trying to bring logic and wisdom back into the situation as well. And you're kind of figuring out the difference in partners related to that. But I think it's going to be positive lessons that you're learning. I do think someone's going to try to get your attention with this crowing rooster here. I feel like it's going to be pretty obvious. And yeah, you are getting probably multiple messages this month with the messages in a bottle. And there are two hearts here. So I do think that this has to do with two different love situations. I'm seeing the two bats and the baseball. So I feel like there probably will be some competition this month over you. I'm seeing the boy in the baseball cap. So yeah, I feel like there are some people kind of ready to play for your heart here. There's a lot of kind of sports metaphors in here, but I feel like somebody's going to try to kind of just do something big for you. Like a slam dunk is kind of always the energy I get with that charm. I feel like they're kind of honing their focus on you. But you're cutting out toxic patterns from the past because you've kind of been through this like emotional whirlpool for a long time and you're trying to get rid of that. And I think you are freeing yourself from that because this, you can't really see it, but the handcuff says freedom on it. I think you are getting unstuck because the spider web represents feeling stuck, being able to get yourself unstuck. But the pheasant speaks about attraction and kind of like new partners coming in and just like listening to your heart's desire. With this star and moon, that has to do with dreams and making wishes. So I think this is somebody maybe you've been wishing for or trying to manifest. With the seahorse here, that often speaks of an equal partner, someone who's going to share the load, share the burden, kind of just be like bring balance to the situation. And with this strawberry, I always think of like temptation and sweetness, but I think you are going to be feeling kind of tempted to move towards two different people, but I think you are going to figure out which way is the right way, because I'm seeing this lighthouse here, which usually speaks about moving in the right direction and being guided. And with this feather here too, maybe you're going to be seeing some signs and synchronicities that have to do with this situation that are going to help guide you to the right situation. Be confident in your decisions, because I think if you listen to your intuition, you are going to make the right decision. And I think clarity is going to come for you with the sun. And I think a positive outcome is pretty much guaranteed if you make sure to follow your intuition and don't kind of be swayed by smooth talkers or anything like that. But just maybe make sure that you take things slowly and just step by step. Don't just kind of dive in without a thought. With this mouse, I'm thinking of kind of being tentative and just wary of the situation. But just know, if you feel safe and comforted, that is probably the right relationship for you or the right situation for you. If you're feeling on edge the whole time and nervous, that's probably not the right situation for you. This heart leaf always makes me think of like kind of letting things grow, letting love grow, being gentle with yourself. Because I think a lot of the time if you get hurt in the past, then it's easy to just be hard on yourself and, you know, kind of indulge in that negative self-talk that all it does is kind of perpetuate that cycle and continue the negativity and the toxic thinking. So just try to be gentle with yourself, especially if you have made mistakes. If you do continue to make mistakes, don't punish yourself over it. Just try to do better next time. Use that lesson to help you make better decisions in the future. This squirrel speaks about your hard work and effort paying off. I think you're going to want to kind of doll yourself up for this situation. I always think about kind of dressing up, feeling good. Maybe this person is going to want to take you on a date or something. I do think that a lot of this is going to come out of the blue with this lightning bolt. That always makes me think of things happening suddenly and without warning. I think someone is going to, I think someone's probably had their eye on you, because with this whale, I always think of kind of like storing up emotions and then finally you just burst. So I feel like somebody's probably had their eye on you for a long time and has wanted to say something but hasn't. So I think they are going to come forward and say something to you this month, because if they don't, they'll just burst. I think you might have to kind of use sun protection with this sun hat. It often makes me think of things being so sunny that you kind of have to shade your eyes. So I feel like things are going to be feeling really good, but you're going to want to make sure to kind of look at it carefully as well. Don't be blinded by all these good things happening that you kind of move in the wrong direction, or in the direction of something that doesn't feel right to you. Make sure that you still kind of are discerning about the situation that you put yourself in. And then with this octopus, it always makes me think of kind of juggling too much. So just make sure that you kind of put down the load, kind of still yourself, and try not to get too invested in something before you kind of know where it's going. Just kind of take it, it's that step-by-step energy, because I think octopus a lot of the time has the tendency to kind of squeeze too tightly and hang on too tightly. So I feel like maybe that past relationship you have kind of hung on too tightly, and maybe this is somebody from the past coming forward and hanging on too tightly to you that they won't let go. So you might need to set some boundaries with this person. And I am seeing this be here, which is also making me think of the word boundaries. So I think that's going to be an important thing to remember this month, is to just set boundaries, make sure that you're learning from the past, and just respect yourself, respect your intuition, and follow your gut, because I think your gut is going to know best. And if you're doubting yourself, you are going to be receiving some signs and synchronicities this month. I think you're going to be getting some messages in that way. So just trust that, trust yourself, and I don't think you can go wrong if you do that. So group 4, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please let me know in the comments below what resonated. Please like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it, so that you can see when I've posted new content. I hope you have an awesome November and an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.